Hey besties! Did I just film this entire video and then decide to slightly change the angle? Yes. Yes, I did. And so now I'm re-recording the entire thing. Love it! But that's okay because I'm here today filming a video that looks like it's been shot by a microwave because I'm filming on my MacBook Pro. I really did think that this would add to the vibes of feeling like you're at a sleepover or on FaceTime with like a bestie. But in hindsight, it may just be shit quality. And that's that. It could just, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry, I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl. Before I get into all of the books, firstly, I've said it once and I'll say it again. I am a dyslexic girly, and I will be making that my personality trait for the rest of my life. And I will be using that as an excuse as to why I can't get through books as quickly as some and as quickly as I would like to. Which is why I probably will never do a monthly reading wrap up and instead decided to just do a big yearly compilation of all the books that I managed to get through. My yearly reading goal was 10 books. Now, I know you're probably sitting there shaking your head thinking, babe, that is a poor effort. But you know what? I am a dyslexic girly. Give me a break, okay? I managed to get through 12 books. So I did exceed my reading goal and I managed to get through 12 books. I hope to make it 15 by the end of the year, just because I feel like it's a nice number, ending the year on 15. Another thing that I need to comment on before we get cracking is this-ish, okay? I am well aware that this angle makes it look like I have a foot fetish. What is going on? These two artworks behind me are from Etsy. They're beautiful. This is a Fleabag poster. This is a Sex and the City poster. And then there's another one off camera that's a Harry Styles poster. And they all look fabulous in my room, but for some reason, this angle is very much just giving feet. And if you weren't aware of that right now and I've just drawn your attention to it, I'm sorry. Because I can't think of anything else now other than the fact that there is so many feet in this video. Also, just thought I'd mention, this is not in any sort of order. It's not in a chronological of when I read it order, and it's also not in a order of preference. It's simply the order that I decided to put it on my bedside table. Sorry. Shall we get started? This is the book that I'm currently reading, and I do think that I will get it finished, hopefully by maybe today, if not definitely tomorrow. The text is pretty big and it's not a difficult read, so I'm adding it, okay? Sue me, I'm adding this to my yearly reading wrap-up because I know it will be read. This is Flawless by Elsie Silver. It is the first book, I'm pretty sure, of the Chestnut Spring series, and I have heard good things. I was very, very excited when I saw this in the bookstore and was able to pick it up. I almost bought the entire series then and there, but I thought I'd buy the one and see how I go. And at the moment, I am liking it and I will be reading the other books in the series, but it's not my favorite book. It's probably a 3-star read at the moment. It might change, that may go up, it may go down, but at the moment, it's giving 3 stars. It's very cute. It's a cute book, but it's also very cringe. There are moments in there where I'm like, that moment was 100% ruined by the fact that you've just said that. So why would you say that? But overall, I'm liking it so far. So, slay. Next is Beach Read by Emily Henry. Have I read that many books? Nay. Have I read that many authors? Also no. But am I 100% certain that Emily Henry is my favorite romance author? You would be correct. So this book is about January, who is a romance author, and Gus, who writes serious novels, and it's fecking fabulous. It is such a good book. It was a 5-star read. I'm going to put all of my Goodreads comments in this video so that you know what I said about them. But truly, I would marry this book. I love her. I love her so much. And whilst we're on the topic of Emily Henry, I also read You and Me on Vacation, but I just don't have the physical copy of it with me because I lended it to a friend. I thought that she would really enjoy the book, so I gave the book to her. But I also read You and Me on Vacation and loved her as well. I think I rated that a 4-star. It was my first friends to lovers book, and I really never had any interest in reading anything other than enemies to lovers. I am an enemies to lovers girly through and through, but I loved You and Me on Vacation. I thought it was a really fun and fresh little book. Next is Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. At the time, I really loved this book. I thought it was really fun. It was very much giving Wattpad vibes. I couldn't tell you if I read it now, if I would feel the same way, because I do think since then I have read better books that I've liked more that maybe I wouldn't have given it. I think I gave it a 4-star. I really should get my Goodreads up so I know, but I will do that actually. At the time, I had a really fun time with it. It was very much giving Wattpad, and I'm not lying to you. Misha, I think was the guy's name. There's Misha and Ryan, that's the two main characters. Misha is the guy. Is it? Anyway, I don't know. I don't remember this book, but I do remember that the main character in my head was very much just dark Harry Styles. Like it really did just feel like I was reading a fan fiction, but it was a fun time. I enjoyed myself. Next is Icebreaker from Hannah Grace. I loved this book. This book did things to me. Do I remember it now? No, not really, because I read it so long ago, but this was my first 5-star read. I think that this book single-handedly made me fall in love with reading, because it wasn't my first book that I had read this year, but it definitely was the first book that I loved this year, that I could not put down, and I just thought it was so fabulous. It was such a fun time. It was one of the first books that I read that wasn't about a toxic relationship. As in the two main characters weren't awful to each other. From memory, maybe they were, but I don't remember them being proper enemies to lovers. It was Grumpy Sunshine reversed kind of vibes. I know that there is a second book in this series that's out, and I haven't picked it up, but one day I probably will, because I really did enjoy this vibe. Next is The Spanish Love Deception. Every man and their dog were losing their marbles over this book on TikTok. And you know what? It was fun. I think I gave it a 3-star. Why is it this big? What romance novel needs to be the size of the damn Bible, right? I don't know how big the Bible is. I'm lying through my teeth. This book is so unnecessarily large and in charge. I don't know why, but it took me ages to get through this book, and it wasn't my favorite thing I've ever read, but Aaron, the main love interest, Yup. Loved him. I very much pictured Aaron Blackford to be Damon Salvatore. If he looks like Mr. Ian, anyone's going to fall in love with him, okay? I'm just a girl. What can I say? Next is Fourth Wing. Every girly pop has read this book by now, okay? I am not unique, but I did have a very fun time. One of my best friends was an absolute doll and annotated this entire book for me. I'm going to put the microphone down, so you're going to have some shitty audio for 2 seconds, but can you see that? Oh my god. As Ariana Grande once said, yeah. I had a fun time with this book, not only because the book itself was great, but because I got to read all of Zoe's thoughts and feelings and her little jokes and comments. It was really fun. The only thing with this book is that I didn't get that 5-star feeling in my chest. So I did only rate it a 4-star, but it was still fabulous nonetheless. I do think that I was subconsciously comparing it to Akatar a lot, which I shouldn't have done because they're very different books. But overall, it was a fun time. Live, laugh, love. Yeah, I regret to inform you that I did fall victim of reading these 2 books due to TikTok. It Ends With Us was the first book that I ever picked up on my own free will. Like, I only started reading this because everyone was losing their shit over it on TikTok, and I wanted to know what the hype was about. You have every right to call me a sheep, because that's what I am through and through. At the time, as I was reading this, I had a fun time. I didn't think it was a shocking book. But now, since reading other books, I've come to my senses and realized that this is pretty garbage, to be honest. With Peace and Love. Sorry, Miss Colleen. It's just not great. It's just not great. Also, the big plot twist about the main love interest, Ryle, if that's how you say his name. I literally forgot that his name was even Ryle. I had to read the back. The big plot twist about him not being a very nice person was not a plot twist to me. I literally assumed from the get-go that he wasn't going to be very nice because he had a little hissy fit up on the roof and threw a chair. So I was like, oh, it's giving anger issues. It's giving can't handle his emotions. It's giving... And it gave. It did. So that wasn't a super shocking plot point for me. But yeah, I read it. So there you go. And then I also read the second book. To be honest, I don't remember anything about these books because I read them in like January, I think. I don't even remember, but it was early in the year. And all I remember is that she wrote to Ellen. Why? Why would you do that? I have so many questions, but not enough to actually care too much because I didn't love the books. We know. Okay, we know. I have a whole reading vlog about this book. So if you want to know my thoughts, head on over to there. I read it and I'm traumatized. This book changed me for the worse. It was wild. Penelope Douglas, your brain is truly something that should be studied, babe. With Peace and Love. Okay, we've gotten to that part of the video. We have, and we all knew it was coming. If you could see it in the little corner of your eye, you knew. You knew. If you're watching this video, there is a 99.9% chance that you have already read this series. So you know what's coming. You do. I've left these till last because these books single-handedly changed the trajectory of my life. I have no words. I don't. So I got recommended A Court of Thorns and Roses at the start of the year, straight after reading It Ends With Us. And I tried to read it straight after reading It Starts With Us. And I could not cope, right? I had gone from reading child's play to then reading a fantasy book, and I just really could not get in the headspace of being like, well, fairies aren't real, so why are we reading about them? Okay, like what's going on? And I probably read maybe like halfway and then decided to put the book down. So it's like, I'm just not enjoying myself. I'm not going to finish reading this. And then I proceeded to read so many romance books back to back to the point that it felt like I was reading the same thing over and over. So I was like, maybe I will go back to the one fantasy book that I own. And that decision changed my life, okay? I actually love this book so much that I can't put it into words. But it's not actually this book. This book was great, right? It was fun. I rated it a 4-star at the end because obviously for the first half of the book, I didn't enjoy myself. Also, just side note, I have the original cover. This, if my house was to burn down, this is the one item I would grab. I love the original covers more than the new ones, which could be a hot take, but I think they're so fun. Anyway, that first book slaps, but I actually don't know how to start to unpack my feelings on this book because it's otherworldly. Yep. This book is my favorite book of the entire year. And I honestly could debate that I feel like this is going to be my favorite book ever. I genuinely do not know how a book can be better than Mist and Fury. It changed me. There was Isabel before Mist and Fury and Isabel after Mist and Fury. Because, oofed. You don't need a boyfriend when you have Reese. Okay? Just read about Reese and you'll be fine. Thank you. Okay, next is Wings and Ruin. I annotated the shit out of this book because I knew that I loved Mist and Fury so much. And granted, I will be going back and probably reading Mist and Fury once a year. I'm going to need to reread that bad boy frequently. And I probably will go back and annotate it. But I annotated Wings and Ruin and I had a really fun time. I did. Only Miss Sarah would get me reading about war and actually having fun doing so because I never thought I'd be that girl. I had a fun time. It's not as good as the second book, but it still holds up. It's still a fabulous book. Loved her. I love her. I could talk about these books till the cows come home. And if the cows never come home, I will forever talk about them. I love... Now, in saying all that, I am opening the floodgates for hate comments right now. I am because I haven't read these books yet. I know, I'm sorry. I haven't read them yet, but these are the 2 books that I'm planning to end my year with. I had read all 3 of the first books in the series back to back, and so it felt like I was spending months reading a lot about Feyre. And I just wanted a little bit of a change, so I went back to my tried and true, which was romance, and kind of dabbled into some taboo, darker, what the feck is this, romance. And I'm going to finish my cowboy book. And then my plan is to pick Frost and Starlight up when it's December. Because I feel like it's a good December read. It's a bit of a holiday novel. So yeah, I thought it would be cute to read it in December. And then tackle this bad boy. Yeah. Now, one thing about me is that Nesta is my favorite female character in these books already. So I can already tell you this will be a 5-star read. And I really think it would be fun to finish my year on a 5-star read. And so that's why I've waited so long. I feel like it's a good excuse, but also I'm sorry, okay? But I know I'm going to lose my shit over this book. And I cannot wait. Anyway, that's all the books that I read this year. I hope that you enjoyed hearing all of my thoughts. And I just love book culture. I love that as humans, we find enjoyment with talking to other humans or listening to other humans talk about words on a page and how those words made us feel. Like, shut up. That is so cute. I just think that's really precious. And I could talk about books forever. I just think they're so fun. It's such a good way to escape reality. That sounds way darker than it needs to be, but it's true. I hope that you have a fabulous day and a fabulous week. And if this is the last video you're ever watching of mine, I hope that you have a fabulous life. I'm sending lots of love and light, and I'm going to go read. I might actually sit outside with a book, crack open a Coke Zero. Oh, that is how I want to die. I want to die with a book in one hand and a Coke Zero in the other. And I'll die happy, babe. I will. Anyway, as I said, have a fabulous day, and I will talk to you later, I'm sure. Mwah. Bye.